Hi, I'm Jennifer Knopf, and today I'm going to show you how to use reports in Knowledge360. I'll start by showing you how to add content to a report, such as news or press releases. Then I'll show you how to build a report. And last, I'll show you how to distribute that report to your key stakeholders. So let's start by looking at a dashboard. We're going to just find some articles from some of our top sources here as an example of a way of showing you how to add that content to the report. So you can do this in a couple of different ways. You can start by just clicking on the article, and anywhere you see this report icon or a book icon, you can add that to the report. So if I want to just create a new report name, I can do that right from this window. And now I've got my report saved. So as I go in and add feature content to the report, that report's already available. So I can see that that's available for selection. And we can just add a couple of other articles that way. So can you scan through your dashboard, and we can just go ahead and add this here. All right. There's another way that you can get to your content. There's different places throughout the system, and you can add all kinds of content to the report. For example, you can add your own documents and field intel to the report. Later, I'll show you or talk about how the access that you have to have in order to be able to see that in a report. But you can create it as a link. So for example, if I wanted to just do a quick search here and look and see what kind of latest healthcare news, I can scroll through here, and anywhere you see under the add to option, you can just add this to a report and select it. Again, you can also preview the article and add it from the preview window. Okay, so it's really simple, easy to get content in there. Just make it part of your daily process as you're scanning your dashboards, looking at your content pages, etc. And don't forget, if it's something that's really valuable, you want to add that to the reveal page as well, so that anybody logging in for the first time can, that day or that week can see that really important news that's coming out there. So next, I'm going to go to the reports page. We're going to take a look at our healthcare newsletter that we've created. And here I'm going to start back at the report name. So there's a couple of steps that you can go through to build the report. All reports by default are going to start out in a draft status. So what this means is you're still working on it. You're still, adding content to it, designing the layout, getting it ready for publication. Once you send that out, you're going to want to come back to this page and change the status of the report. And that will make it unavailable for adding new content to in the future. And it keeps that list of reports that you have to add to nice and clean. So we're going to keep that in draft status. The next step is you're going to choose a layout for your report. So a couple of recommendations. If you like to include an executive summary and you have a couple of topics that you want to include news articles on, maybe you want to segment your news by top competitor versus a specific topic, this is a great layout to choose. If you just want to include links and you want to send this out just sort of as here's the top things you need to know for the week, this is a great selection. And if you want some sort of combination of both, this is a nice view as well, because you can build multiple pages if you need more, if you need to add more sections, but this allows you a little bit of flexibility. So I'm going to choose this layout for today, and I'm going to start by showing you how you want to just give each section a title. So here's where you could say, I'm going to put an executive summary in here. And this is going to be your insights or your analysis about this, the collection of articles that you're including in the newsletter. So this is just some text that's going to identify like what the content below is included. And here, maybe we give this a title. I'm actually going to select the content for these articles, and then I'll give it a title. So we'll just select everything here. Kind of a pro tip, you can just click on this to drag the order in which they appear. So if you have some that are really important, you want those to appear at the top, you can drag and drop them to make that change. And then we're going to give this one a title. So something like top news articles of the week. Again, if you wanted to break this out into sections or categories, you could go back and add another page and follow the same format. So you could have your top competitor news, you could have indirect versus direct competitors, or potentially different sections like what's some new content that's been added internally, as well as the new documents or field intel that have been added through the week as well. Okay. So the next step is going to be kind of choosing how you want the overall look and feel, whether you want a logo, whether you want the name of the report there. And for some people specifically, like if you're going to send this out to an executive team, a lot of times you can include the full articles, and that prevents them from having to click on links to access the reports. So you can do that. You can also upload your own custom logos. If you have, you can choose the name of the report here, but if you want to have a logo, you can choose whether you want it on the left, the top, or the center. You can then choose a file here. If you want to go to your computer and find a regular, your own image that you've created for your newsletters, if you choose the current logo, it's going to choose the logo that's up here in the upper left-hand corner of the screen. So I'm going to go ahead and keep that for the purposes of today. All right, and then the last thing that you're going to do is just take a quick preview of your article, or your newsletter rather. And this is going to be what it looks like when you send this out. So you can email this directly from the system to a select group of users or groups. Any user that you send this to, because everything we've included in today's newsletter is available publicly, it's publicly available content, so they're going to be able to access it without having to log into the system. This is a direct link to the article itself. You can also, if you included any documents or field intel, those require access to Knowledge360. So you can include those. It will show a link, but they'll be prompted to log in when they access that. The other thing you can do is export it directly to a PDF, and that's going to open it up, allow you to save it to your local machine, and then send it out as an attachment to your news, to your team and whoever you distribute to internally. So this is an example of what that looks like when it's all said and done. And each article has its own page because we selected that option. Now, one thing I want to show you really quick is we didn't make any changes to the articles. This is just a top, the top news articles of the week. We just used the titles of the article in this example. But if I want to, I can come back because I'm still in that draft mode and I can make these edits. I'm going to come back to this middle section here. And if you prefer, you can choose between including kind of an automatic summary just by selecting the paragraph. And then you can also add your own comments. Why is this important? And you can add some comments here. Okay. And that's going to show up on the report, and it'll be a comment specific about that article right beneath the article. So it's associated there, whereas here you're really talking kind of in general about what does all of this mean. If I go back to my preview, you'll see here's where I've now included these summaries, and I have my additional comments as well. So those are some different ways that you can add some context to the articles that you're including, in addition to the different section headers that you have. So today I've shown you how to add content to a report that we use for newsletters, how to create a report, including setting a layout, adding content, adding a paragraph summary, as well as your own comments, and a few of the additional settings. And last, I've showed you how you can email this out to yourself via PDF or directly from the system as a PDF attachment to an email to members of the Knowledge360 platform that you have already registered. And that concludes the training for today. If you have any questions about reports, including any best practices for developing newsletters and using the reports feature, or anything that we haven't covered today, go ahead and click on the Ask Safer button, and our customer success team will be happy to assist you. There's also some knowledge base articles in the by clicking on the question mark here next to the Ask Cipher button, and there's some additional help that there for you as well. Thanks so much, and we'll talk soon.